I wanted to tell him everything about myself and about him. His like, not that they call me everything, like everything. And I go over there like, you can't talk to him, basically. And I just said to PFTQ and to Waterflame, like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and they can just throw me out. I don't care. I walk over and I go like, I don't remember, like, what did I say? Like, I didn't even say much, but like, oidekte koides, and like, obviously, hajime mashte and stuff like that. And I said like, something in the sign was right? And then they didn't say anything. Like, there were like 7 people with him in the middle, and they didn't say anything. And I had I literally practiced every single scenario where he says like 100 things to me. The one thing I didn't expect was for him to say absolutely nothing. So I stand there and I go, what do I say? Do I start it? Because everything I had started with me. Because like, there's no scenario, right, where you introduce yourself to someone and they don't ask you a question. Like even just like, oh, what do you speak Japanese? Or like, Nobuto Yon could say anything, like, you know, but he didn't say anything. So like, it's impolite now if I just start saying, so, by the way, me, right?
Yeah.
So I think unfortunately the mistake was that you wanted the Buster Sword sign, right?
Yeah.
Because they fixated on like, oh, this is a known object. Like, we know this Buster Sword, yeah. And they just kind of like ignored him. It was really sad.
Yeah, they were super happy about the Buster Sword. Like,
yeah, it's like, what do you care?
Should have never done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was. But
anyway,
that sucked, man.
This is actually like a good tone anyway, so I'll just like kick it off and then we.
Let's go.
Yeah. So hey, I'm here with Pelle and Diana. I'm obviously Waterflame, and this is like the first time I actually meet.
I'm obviously Waterflame.
Obviously, everyone knows me. But yeah, this is the first time I'm actually on camera with Diana. But we've met many times. We made music together.
Yeah, but, there's whole songs with us on them, but I've never spoken to you before. No. Never talked to you before.
We tried to have like an interview online, but the quality was so bad.
Because I remember doing that.
Yeah, but it was like
we did this. Why are you saying we didn't?
We did it in a place where I had to be quiet, so it was like kind of like yeah.
Well, next time you're in Japan, you can just come to my house and snuggle my cat and do it there.
That would be great. Yeah. I can meet Cricket.
Yes.
Who's watching your cat now then?
My roommate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's apparently very mad.
But yeah, so
your cat's mad?
She's so mad.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
She threw up on my roommate's shoes.
Yeah, so we are in Sandefjord now. We, well, me and my teammates are here to basically support you guys because you guys just made a live music video with a live orchestra, and it was amazing. So
thank you.
It was really fun.
Yeah. So you got in from. You got straight to Oslo and then straight here without sleeping.
I
so
flew into Oslo at around 8 a.m. and then we trained over here, and then I took a quick shower and jumped up on stage. So I was up for about 40 hours at that point. It was kind of a surreal experience because like when you're that tired, everything is just really like whoa, whoa, and like kind of hyper slow and fast at the same time. So my memories of it are a bit fuzzy, but I'm sure it looks amazing.
It does though, it does look great, and the directors even said after the first take, like, she has a lot of energy, but you, like, way more energy than you have. And I slept just fine that night, so...
Is that what was happening in Norwegian?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, am I not getting notes? Do they not believe in me? Oh.
But the thing is, I can say that as a Norwegian, for a Norwegian, you had a lot of energy. It's just that Japanese people tend to like go way harder on stage.
Yeah,
right?
so I had to like amp it up.
If I don't actually have to sing live, then like I'm just gonna go all out.
True, true.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. So yeah, it was cool. So this is an album that I've been writing in Japanese, my first Japanese album. So Diana, for instance, she does a lot of work in Japan, and I want to do the same thing. I have a large following in Japan, but it's just like cover songs and stuff that I do that people really know about.
We do like covers,
And I got the opportunity to sing an official anime opening once that I think people who watch this video probably know about, the Skeleton Knight and the World opening. But after that, I haven't gotten any opportunities. And I thought that was going to be like, maybe this is like a good start for me, and you know, it's going to grow from there. But that's been over a year since I did that now, and nothing's happened.
That's actually not that uncommon though. Like there's generally, like so there's actually several different kinds of contracts in labels. So if you have like an anime contract, then you're required in order to fulfill the contract to do like 3 anime tie-ups a year, and it can be openings or endings or something like that. But if you're not actually on a contract or an anime contract specific, then there can be years between anime releases. So I was not on an anime contract, and so I had like year-long gaps or 2-year-long gaps between some of my anime releases. That's totally normal, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
She's
but at the
saying
same,
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's Japan. It's us. It's not you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think it's a really good idea that you're sort of kickstarting it. Like, yo, I can do lots of stuff. Like, listen.
Yeah, because I have a big following in Norway, and they ask me to do concerts a lot and stuff, and I just go. I don't want. My dream has always been like, I feel like an anime character in that sense, because like if you watch anime, they always have like a really big dream or a goal, like a mission in life, and they don't want to give up.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm basically Naruto. I got it.
I feel that way about like anime music and breaking in Japan. Like I really want to make it, and I just wanted to like, I can't wait for like a year and hope something happens next year. Like, I'm not going to live for 1,000 years. Yeah. So I wrote an album in Japanese, and of course through my connections with Waterflame and PFTQ and Autodidactic Studios, everything, I met you, sent you my favorite song on the album, and you were gracious enough to accept. Thank you.
Really, like, you only showed me one song. You were like, "What about this?" And I was like, "Okay, take it. We're good." It was really beautiful. It's got like this like build, and I liked that it was about essentially not giving up. Like there was like blood-stained hands and stuff like that. But when you actually look at the meat of the song, it's about not giving up. True. And my songs are generally along the same line as well. It's about not giving up and working with other people in tandem in order to get even further in bigger places. And I think that as shown in anime characters, that really resonates.
Yeah. No, true. I think maybe that's all. And also like a lot of people tell me. Because I think maybe watching so much anime, obviously I started my entire career just singing songs that are Japanese that I didn't even understand and everything at the time, and it's because I really like that message, and I like to work out, I like to do active stuff, and it inspires me with stories like people who never want to give up, because in life there are always tons of challenges all the time, and everything is always difficult and you have to fight for it, and so I like to write music like that, and especially in Japanese, man. It makes so much sense to make music.
It's a very poetic language as well, so you get to like really express that. I mean, if I actually wrote text, I would write about the same thing. I mean, personally, a peeve of mine is that all pop music is just always about like I'm so sad and I'm broken and no one understands me.
That's why I don't like Western pop.
I like the Genki. It's like, let's take over the world.
What got me into Anisong in particular was the fact that like I really disliked the fact that Western pop was all like, I'm sad, I broke up with someone, I'm better off alone, yeah. Like it was also just emo, no one understands me, like bleh. Right? And so I didn't like that. But Japanese music, generally is a lot more forward thinking, it's a lot more optimistic. These days it's gotten a little dark again, whoopsies. But generally speaking, especially like the 90s and the 2000s anime songs were all very much about, doing your best and, keep standing up and stuff like that. And like that's what got me into this genre, and I resonated with it quite, greatly. Like I've had a lot of obstacles, obviously being a foreigner in Japan as an entertainer, as a singer is really difficult. And so you just can't give up, and you just have to keep, throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
True.
I think also that like that part of the spirit of Japan is what draws all three of us there, right?
Because we're masochists?
No, the side of it, which is like, not giving up.
It's like doing your best and reaching your potential, because that is like a thing in Japanese culture that you don't, like in the West, like for instance here we have something called janteloven.
I knew you were going to talk about janteloven.
Yeah, because that's basically, you shouldn't think that you're better than anyone. You shouldn't think that you are like above the baseline. Don't brag about yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that at all. If I'm awesome at something, I want to.
Modesty's one thing, but like,
it's a little bit different. It's
in Japanese culture though, like they also, like it's a collectivist society and stuff. Like they also like, you're not supposed to stick out that much. But like in the culture, like in movies and in anime and stuff, like they really celebrate that kind of spirit of like never giving up.
That's a good word, celebrating.
Japan's like really allergic to individuality, but then a lot of the media is like individuality, but in a group.
True. Yeah.
Like if you think about it, like Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, all of that, they're all very like quirky individuals, but it works because they're supporting each other's weak points.
Yeah.
And I think that that's probably like a really good sort of idea of being an individual rather than being like, look how amazing I am.
True.
It's more about like, I am really good at what I do, so let me work with other people who are really good at what they do to make something even better.
And that was a challenge when I was writing the album as well, because like we talked about yesterday, this is your first time in Norway, and we talked about it. It's like Norway's biggest value, and that really separates us from other nations, is our independence and our need for independence.
I would agree with that.
So like we don't really talk to family as much as other countries, etc. And it's all tied into having universal health care and so all the socialist aspects of Norway. So we're not very reliant on each other. And so when I was writing the album, been watching anime for so long, and like it wasn't natural for me to write about like this group feeling kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but I still wrote it into songs, because I have a song as well which is about like that kind of connection and the importance of friends and comrades, like especially in the line of battle and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was like not natural to me. But my hope is that these songs will be used in some kind of anime in Japan, like. Fingers crossed, you never know. And then I felt like I needed to write that in. And as a Norwegian, that was actually quite difficult to write.
Yeah, I can understand that, because that is almost a social problem we have, is that we get so individual that people get lonely, because like a good Norwegian is kind of the person that can take care of themselves in all aspects, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's like our pride to not rely on other people.
Exactly.
So, and in a lot of other cultures, not necessarily Japan, but...
I know Japan in particular is you're not by yourself.
Okay, true, but like you don't eat by yourself and stuff like that. But I mean, like in certain countries, for instance, it's very normal to like take care of your entire family, like in one household.
That's Japan, yeah.
Do they really do that?
Oh yeah, no. You're supposed to live with your like father. Like if you're like a woman-shaped person, then your husband's parents generally come live with you.
Yeah.
You take care of your elders. That's like a big thing in East Asia in general. Taking care of your elders, taking care of like neighborhood children, like taking care of everyone around you.
This
it's
is
very
news to me. I had no idea about it.
Japan's super community.
I think why you had no idea. I actually watched a documentary about this recently, where the newest generation of Japan is kind of like letting that go, which is like very sad for the old generation, because there's a lot of like people that grew up with that being tradition. That are now old
about it, basically.
Yeah, but they're now old, right? But the next generation aren't taking care of them as they have been in generations.
They're not taking care of them. Yeah. And there's also like, social dynamics in Japan that are always about the group. So like, even if it's difficult or painful for you, whatever's better for the group you have to do. So Japan is very much a group mentality, and it's very much about making sure that you're, contributing to the group and not like taking away or dragging anyone down, and it can be like a lot of pressure, and I feel like younger people aren't as on board with it. But I do actually really like that Japan has like small community values, because I feel like that's something that somebody like me who was kind of isolated growing up was able to really like enjoy about Japan, like that I found a new community that accepted me even though I'm so far removed.
True. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. No, it's completely different here, and I think maybe Norway is very separated from other nations in that sense. Like, it's funny, like my girlfriend said to you yesterday, she said like, my mother, like she said like, if she gets sick, then don't visit me, like forget about me. It's completely opposite, like in like Japan, like you say, like people you expect to take care of them. Yeah. So it's very different.
Yeah, I actually have to fight my mom on that, because she's very individual. So I was like, how have you been doing lately? And she was like, I was like knocked out in bed with a heavy fever for a week. And I'm like, you are like almost 70. Can you please tell me? Like, I'm kind of worried, But she's like, I'll be fine. Like,
Your mom's 70 years old, is she?
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But actually she acts more like she's like 40. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a number, right?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's that individualism. But speaking of that, this is your first time in Scandinavia in general. We're gonna go see some Viking.
Yeah, I wanna see Vikings.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga. It's my favorite.
You have like a Viking face right now, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I really like Vinland Saga, and my last name is a Norman Viking name, Garnet. So I'm gonna go see some history.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
I will. And then I'm gonna have reindeer.
Yeah, we're gonna eat Rudolph at the end.
Yay!
So
Yay.
it's gonna be good.
Goodbye, Christmas.
She said yesterday, she's like, oh, they're so cute. I can't wait to eat them.
I can't wait to eat them.
Like a villain. But
also,
yeah, great. Yeah. Do you have something more to add?
Did you actually even mention that the song you did together was there was a full live orchestra?
Yes, I can quickly about that, because I want her to get to her Viking funeral. but basically, but no. So basically, what it is I wrote the album, and then I always like to have orchestra on my album, And in the recent couple of years, I met a Japanese composer who works with orchestras. His name is Eba-san. He's made music for Overlord and Attack on Titan, etc. He's the person I worked on my anime opening for Skeleton Knight with. And he recorded orchestra in Japan and for a song for me, and it was amazing. And for this album, I wanted to have a really good orchestra and big. So we recorded lots of orchestra stuff. And for the music videos, then it made sense for me to have an actual symphonic orchestra, which is expensive and difficult to manage. My brother plays in a really good symphonic orchestra. I've been to all their shows, not all, but like 4 of them. And I was able to get them to join me or us for music videos and stuff from the album. So we had a guitarist, we had a drum player, we had a massive symphonic orchestra, we had us, we had my favorite camera crew as well, who make music videos for some of the best artists here in Norway. So it's been amazing, and a huge thank you to everyone who just supported. Everyone just been helping out. I obviously can't afford what it's supposed to cost because it's so expensive. So everyone's been chipping in and helping out in different ways.
It's been an amazing production. I genuinely, when I was watching you guys and I was like on the sidelines, I got really fired up again. Like I'm super inspired to go even harder now, even though I probably need to sleep for a week. But yeah, because it was like next year I'm gonna be on that stage too.
I think it's time to do some edgy videos and Shibuya.
You gotta get your emo hair back.
Maybe I should, man.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm a little bit afraid of the how do you do fellow kids kind of vibe. You know, I'm there.
Oh shit! Yeah, true. True.
There is like a fine line between like creepy and cool when you get too old.
I haven't thought of that nuance.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that then.
I've never thought of that in my life.
But I can do like hints of it where I can still be kind of rocked, but not like I'm overcompensating. You know.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So let's get Diana over to the Viking Museum.
Let's go watch the Vikings. But yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah.